Welcome back to Pond Life, and today I'm going to talk about budgeting your life and trying to keep it in order and making a good future for yourself. Whether you're in school or you're already out of school and you want to try to get ahead and can't get things right, this is a few ideas for you. So say if you're in school and you're thinking about, oh, I'm going to wing it, drop out, or move on, that's a mistake. I mean, you want to go to school, go to college, get your education. If you think you can just show up at a big city, wing it, and don't even pay attention to these warning signs, you might just fall off and you get lucky. You land on your feet if you're big, soft, and cuddly like me. But otherwise, if you're not, you might just wind up flat on your face, and that won't feel too good. Be trying to pick yourself up and wondering what happened. Or you might be in a situation where you're trying to graduate, right, and your parents going to drive you to the city and drop you off. You can't always spend your time trying to fly through life and daydream with your heads in the cloud. You need to get back in school while you got a chance, get an education, and I'm going to explain the reason why and how to, try to think this through and make a budget. One of the first things you got to realize is that the economy can get rough and it's hard to really get a good job without an education or college. So what you need to do is make a budget. Whether you're already in life and out of school and have a job, or if you are thinking about leaving school, make you a chart like this here. List all these little life expenses down. I wrote down like an average of what it costs in most places, just to kind of show you what it's like. Your rent, your electricity, water, garbage, your phone, cable, your utilities, and just kind of get a basic idea. And if you just add it up, so let's just say if you were minimum wage, which is in some places might only be like $8 an hour, that's not going to get you anywhere. Even at $10 an hour, bring home after taxes, you're lucky to get $1,400. So I mean, if you add up just the basic rents and stuff, that the utilities you need, that's you have like $50 left over, and that's not including what food. You gotta have food to eat on. You can't do that if you don't have a car. You can't get her to a job. If you have a car that's paid for, you still gotta have insurance and gas. I mean, gas alone could be around $160 a month. Just using insurance could be at least $100 a month. If you can try to wing it, I mean, you can try to maneuver all these numbers all you want, but at a $10 hour job, unless you're on food stamps and supplemental income, or depending on the government, it's not happening. So if you can see on this chart that I made, even if you sit there and made more, like 15 an hour, you're just cutting the basic necessities by $50, $150, and you're not going to find a car $250 a month payment unless you have super great credit or your parents have money. It's not happening. And so you always want to check this out before you go off in the real world and you think that you could do it on your own. You want to go to college and try to get to this high end figure, and on this chart it kind of shows you what I'm talking about. And the basic way to do all this and make it in life, even if you're already out of school and you're struggling now, you can still get back on your feet, and the way to do it is overtime. You always want to work overtime. Work as much as you can, because even at $10 an hour with 50 hours, I mean, you're going to make at least 2,400 bring home, and then now you're starting to look like you're paying for stuff yourself. But even with groceries and food, it just doesn't cut it. And that's just being single. You're barely making it. You have no money left for any type of entertainment, going out, shooting pool, having your beers, to do anything. Buy something for yourself. What about if you want a new furniture for your place? If you had, God forbid, if you had a credit card, you're just going to go further in the hole. overtime's the way to do it. I mean, even if you were making 16 an hour, you can see here on this chart, you're still not even going to make it. 20 an hour, you're like $2,800 bring home. You know, you might get by with yourself, but I mean, you got household goods, medical bills, you know, supplies when you get a headache or medicine. I mean, all those little surprises will put you further behind. So I mean, if you think you have $200 extra a month, you might as well better pocket it, because you're going to be gone, and it's going to be gone. Some first little emergency come up, a flat tire. You know, you really want to think this through. I mean, basically, you'd almost have to make $30 an hour to cover normal expenses and have extra money. And God forbid if you had a family and kids to take care of, that's almost guaranteed not enough money still in today's society. Where it all comes down to is overtime. You can sit there and be way back at $10 an hour. If you just work overtime, you'd be surprised to get on your feet, make it, pay off your car, pay off a place to live, and then just work your way up and invest that money and still have money left over. Once you pay off your car or some of your other bills, anything over 40 hours, if you make your budget for 40 hours, based on 40 hours, anything over 40 hours you can pocket and have fun on that weekend. Or the smart thing it would do would be invest it. And so each month you would sit there, when you make your payment, you put this little budget on your refrigerator and you check off each little payment. And that way you know ahead of time, hey, my next check, I got all my bills paid for the month. I can spend a little extra, go to the movies or rent a movie or something. Like if DVDs are even around to rent in the future. Most stuff's streaming these days. But I mean, if you were making even, what is it, $20 an hour, and you start getting that just 10 hours overtime a month, I mean, then you're starting looking at, 4,000 a month, and you're just still covering everything you need, but you have to work the 50 hours. That's another reason why you want to stay in college and get those high-end jobs that pay a lot. If you didn't get lucky, you didn't get one of them high-end jobs, you could probably try to go back to college, get some kind of education, or you can just work overtime, a lot of overtime. One job with a lot of overtime is better than 2-3 jobs with no overtime. I mean, myself personally, I went out into the refineries. You could work 7/12s for several months, and the money alone from 84 hours a week, all that overtime, you could save that up, pay your bills, and do like I did. But before I was 21, I had me a brick home. You just have to be smart and invest it and budget it. You have to budget your money to know where you stand. And I mean, everybody wants to have extra things in life, but if you don't work, you gotta work hard. Once you get everything caught up, then you can start working down from the 84 hours down to the 50 hours, down to the 40 hours. And hey, there's times you could take off and only have to work 30 hours a week because you have everything paid for. The key is to budget it and know your expenses. Don't over budget what you got. Otherwise, you could be going through life, and next thing you know, you're just sitting around, become some big old heavy troll, think you're enjoying life and just dancing it away, but nah, you're just sitting there all alone, nothing to do, and no money, and you're not going to be that happy. So you don't dance away and be a big heavy troll. Try to be a jolly happy panda dancing with all that money in your pocket going jing-a-ling-a-ling. So be wise, stay in school, get an education, and make a budget, and think this through before you always go and blow your paycheck away each week. So check out my other videos and advice. Click down below to subscribe, and thanks for watching. I appreciate it.